Hi, welcome back to the Dally Diaries. It's Kristel here. I'm so glad you found me today if it's your first time being here, and if you are, someone who's been here for a while, I am so grateful for you. Truly, thank you for coming back. My voice, you might notice, is a little bit, strained today, and for good reason, because last night I went to see the Birds of Tokyo play at Hindley Street Music Hall here in Adelaide, and they were phenomenal, as they always are. They are one of Australia's best bands. And if you want to listen to music that is going to move you, that is going to make you feel something and uplift you, you definitely need to listen to Birds of Tokyo. I've got the t-shirt here, the Heartbreakers Bar Tour, and I love it and I love them. So that aside, today what we're doing is, because I'm just feeling honestly exhausted, because I also went out after the gig, and my friend and I we just danced in a bar until like 2 o'clock this morning. So yeah, it's I'm sleep deprived, and it's been a while since I've done that. So yeah, I thought we'd just kind of chill out. I've got a box of eyeshadow palettes here that I'm thinking I might be decluttering most of. So I thought we could just go through them and just check them out and see what we think. Strap yourself in, get comfy, and we shall kick things off. So I reckon we're going to start with the Bobbi Brown pile, because these ones are probably the oldest. For those who don't know, I used to work as a makeup artist for Bobbi Brown, and there are still things that I love from the brand. It is not owned by Bobbi Brown anymore. She sort of left the company and she started Jones Road. But yeah, it was a really good company to work for after I'd had some pretty not so great experiences working for Inglot and Napoleon. Inglot was more of a people situation. The people I was working with, particularly management, I didn't necessarily vibe with. Napoleon, well, to be fair, that was just the whole company. It wasn't a good time. So when I started working for Bobbi Brown, I was really excited, because it was just a much better experience all around, and I really like their makeup. So in front of me here, I have an eyeshadow palette, which is like, these are so old. This is the Smoky Warm Eye Palette, and I actually used to use this quite a lot, because if you've been here before, you know I actually really love smoky eyeshadows. So that's the little beauty there. It does come with this little brush here, and it's actually quite beautiful. I just never wear it anymore. It's super, super old. So it'll be interesting. I'm just having a little swatch here to see if these eyeshadows are actually still good. Oh, they are still good. I've really done a number on my voice. So the bar that we went to after the gig, oh, apparently Billy's voice is fine. The bar that we went to after the gig was playing the most incredible music. They have a DJ who DJs with vinyl albums, and so they played everything from Hit the Road Jack, Rock and Robin, like old school vintage vibes, to Limp Bizkit and everything in between. So it was just the most fun. All right, so the matte eyeshadows in this palette are still working a treat, and so is this metallic here. This one is definitely more of a topper. Oh, sorry, that's a matte. This one is more of a topper. What I might do is just see if my mum will get any use out of that, and if so, she can have that one. As much as the formula is fine. Sorry, I'm just zooming you in because you feel like you're really far away. As much as the formula is fine, I have, things now that exceed that formula. And to be fair, Bobbi's formula, I believe, has probably been reformulated since then as well, because it was many moons ago. All right, so that's the first one out. Next here is same format, but it's the Nectar and Nude eyeshadow palette. I really liked this one too when it came out. I used to wear it to work a lot. Very nude palette, which is lovely, and it worked really nicely with a bolder lip, which is actually something I've been getting into again lately, is doing very minimal eyes or very light eyeshadow with a bold lip, which is sort of what I'm doing today, actually. This one is not swatching well anymore. I think we've got a bit of hard pan situation. So yeah, I think this one's just gonna go out. Man, that show was so good last night, honestly. I saw Birds of Tokyo live for the first time when I was actually a promo girl for the Clipsal. It was the Clipsal at the time, but the Adelaide 500, which is a huge car race we have here in Adelaide. And they were playing one of the after after race concerts, and they played with Gyroscope and Dead Letter Circus, who are two other Australian rock bands, and it was just so good. And Birds of Tokyo have just continued to be amazing ever since. Oh, this is not a face palette. This is just a powder palette. This is Warm Sand in the Illuminating Finishing Powder from Bobbi Brown. I don't know why that one is here, but it's a super smooth powder. I might have to pull that one out actually and have a little go. From memory, I don't think it's great for oily skin, which is maybe why I didn't put it in. Because even though I don't have oily skin, I have an oily T-zone, and that's mostly where I powder. So things tend to not stick to my nose very well. All right, but we do have another Bobbi Brown palette here. And this is, for a while, Katie Holmes was doing she was basically Bobbi Brown's muse for a little period of time there. And this was the Bobbi and Katie eyeshadow palette that they did together. It also has two of the pot rouges in here. Now, you can buy them in separate, like little round pots from Bobbi Brown, and they're actually lovely. I love the pot rouges. So this one's actually a very pretty pink palette. If you like soft, subtle pinky tones, let's just swatch a couple of these and see how they're tracking. All these are very, very subtle. Very subtle. Oh, that brown's got some kick still. I will say, of the products from Bobbi Brown, the eyeshadows were never my favorite products. I love their long wear eyeshadow stick. Those are amazing. But the actual powder shadows were never really my favorite product from the line. I think they had other products that were much stronger. These ones are just a bit like, meh. So, you know, they're fine. But the pot rouges are the thing that I love the most about this palette. Really, really nice pink there, pot rouge. And you can use those on your cheeks and your lips. I reckon that's why I've kept this palette, to be honest. It's just for the pot rouge. And then this gorgeous berry. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Get my face out of the way. Yeah, so pretty. Oh man. Pretty powerful and raspberry pot rouge. Pretty foul. See, that was limited edition as well. There was not one of these in the regular shade range. They're so nice. I wonder if I can depot those. That might be what I'm going to do there, because the eyeshadows can go. They're not that great. Now let's dive into my, man, I have so many Tarte eyeshadow palettes here, because I really got into Tarte in a big way for a while there. And I still have products from Tarte that I absolutely adore. I'm wearing the Tarte XL mascara today, which is my go-to. I love it. And everyone knows I'm obsessed with the Opening Act Lash Primer. I've used it for over 10 years and it's just the best base to any mascara. So this is a mammoth palette. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's huge. So this, I think this was a Christmas situation. I don't even know what it's called. So, sorry. But it opens up and you have all of this inside. Quite a lot of stuff in there. We've got a couple of the Amazonian clay powder blushes, which are actually very good as well. I do like those blushes, very good, last forever. One of their highlighters, not so sold on the highlighter, but again, these are really old, so it's an old formula. And then a couple of bronzers in there, plus the Lights Camera Lashes mascara, and it did come with an eyeliner as well. And there is a little, I think this is a liquid lipstick, lip paint. Yeah, so these are really matte. I've never really enjoyed that one. Although it's a very me color now, just looking at it. Oh my gosh, because I'm so tired, this is why they say, you know, you need to live a healthy lifestyle. Because I had such a late night, early morning last night. I've already eaten like 5 Tim Tams today. Gluten-free Tim Tams are so good. If you're not from Australia, Tim Tams are iconic. They are the most delicious chocolate biscuits you'll ever eat. And the thrill of my life was when they brought them out in a gluten-free form, and they taste exactly like the originals. Of course, they cost like $3 more than the originals because, you know, they love to slug you for gluten-free. So, okay, this palette just has too many eyeshadows to even begin to swatch for you. There are some really pretty ones. I remember I used this a lot, which you can see because it's actually really indented in the pan. That's a really pretty shadow. I think Tarte make nice eyeshadows. I don't have any complaints on the eyeshadows. They're nice eyeshadows. They're very soft and easy to blend, generally. Nice neutral brown there. But the bottom half here is a lot cooler in this eyeshadow palette, and I never really use those. So yeah, I think this palette can go out as well. It's a bit of a shame without the blushes and the bronzer, but that's life. That's life. That's what all the people say. Can't believe the song just came out of my struggling voice. It's amazing how that happens, actually. All right, next up from Tarte, we've got the little Tarte Flirt palette, which I think is really cute. I've traveled with that back in the day. I like the metallic shades in this palette. They're both really pretty. Obviously not going to swatch all of these, so we'd be here for 1,000 years. And really decent quality browns in here too. I really love this rich, warm brown. It's just a few of the shades there. If you're a neutrals lover with a but you love a little bit of warmth, this is actually a really nice palette. I don't even know if they make it anymore, but that was the Tarte Flirt palette. But as pretty as it is, I don't use it, so that's going out. Next we got the Tartiste Pro to go, and check this out. I have absolutely smashed this eyeshadow in the corner here. That used to be the eyeshadow that I would use with literally 90% of my eye looks, because I would be doing warm eye looks, and then that would just be the perfect inner corner color because it's gold, but it's not too gold, and I just loved it. I just loved it. That's what I would wear every day. But yeah, that palette can go out, I think. This one is the Tarte, oh gosh, what is this called? Why don't they put the name on the palette? No, don't know, sorry. But again, it's very pretty. Tarte loves neutral. Good news for me is they tend to love warm neutrals, which is something that we have in common. Definitely more my cup of tea. I love that orangey color, super pretty. If you're new to makeup and you just want something that's easy to blend and pretty and flattering, then Tarte is a good option, but that one's gonna go out for me because I just don't need it or use it. Then we've got the Tarte Don't Quit Your Day Dream eyeshadow palette. Cute name. And again, it's a neutral eyeshadow palette. Only this time it has a highlighter in it. And once again, pretty colors in there, but I mean, I don't really know, like these two are way too similar. I don't love the highlighter. Yeah, that's out. And finally, oh, this one I actually do like. This is it's called the Sizzle eyeshadow palette. Look at that, isn't it so pretty? No. Yeah, it's Rainforest of the Sea. It was a whole collection. And this is my Sizzle eyeshadow palette, which I actually think is very pretty still. I was obsessed with these shades, these 3 shades when I bought the eyeshadow palette. Actually, it does make really pretty eye looks. So, oh, that's a tough one. I also really like the brown in this palette. Just the matte brown I think is really nice. But I don't wear it. So I might see if my mum would like that one because those colors would look pretty on her. Right, that's all the Tarte ones out the way. Then let's move into the ColourPop pile because, oh my gosh. Okay, this is a bit sentimental for me because I think this may have been the first ever video that I put on YouTube, and that was using ColourPop. Well, actually I think that there was an unboxing video with ColourPop because I had made a huge order, which was such a big deal for me. And I think then I made a video with this Main Squeeze little 9-pan palette. And this was when they were doing all the plastic casing. And I actually wore this so much when I got it because I just loved the looks that I created with it. They were so intense. They were so striking. It made my eyes pop in a major way. Oh my gosh. I mean, look at this color home slice. The video doesn't really do it justice, to be fair. It's so in your face and it's such a beautiful red. Oh, this color maraschino was super pretty too. Oh my gosh, it makes me want to go back and watch the video, but also it makes me scared. Look at that, maraschino, super pretty. I love the inclusion of the gold. The gold is a really, really nice inclusion in this really reddy eyeshadow pan. That one's more orangey. What else we got in here? Oh, Baywatch. I love the name Baywatch. That's so good. Baywatch. I just made really beautiful eye looks. Just this color alone makes me want to save this palette. But also because it was the first look I did on YouTube. It's like, I'm gonna think about that one. Might have to save that one for sentimental purpose. It's funny, I actually watched a video from a creator the other day who was saying, you know, she gets all these criticisms about how things used to be done on YouTube and how they're done now. And I was like, dude, I still do most of those things. She was saying now that people expect B-roll of everything. You can't just, you know, swatch things on your hands or put them on. Like, you have to have B-roll. You have to have amazing lighting. You have to have all of these things. You can't do a thumbnail holding a product up. And I'm like, I do that all the time because people can see what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know. But also, this isn't my job. This is something I do because I love it and I love connecting with you guys. And so I'm not going to be pushed out of doing something I love because I feel like it's not perfect enough. Like, this isn't my job. This is a hobby. And I love that you are choosing to join me in my hobby and engage with me. And I feel very grateful for that. But the idea that you have to do all these things and have all these expensive equipment things and all of that kind of, like, it's just not for me. And if that's what is necessary to, I don't know, get to like 20,000 subscribers or whatever, that's not my jam. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. All right, next up we have got ColourPop, It's My Pleasure. This one's a very purpley palette. Now, I remember being torn between this one and the Ooh La La palette, I think it was. But yeah, I ended up going with It's My Pleasure. And it's super pretty. I know they have that Amethyst palette that's come out since this one. That is obviously purpley. I don't know if this one even still exists. Like, these are old palettes, you know. Well, not that old, to be fair. Some of these are only, well, how long have I been doing YouTube for? Maybe 2 years or so? Maybe 3 years? So they're not actually that old in the grand scheme of things. Just in our expendable society, they're old. So isn't this a pretty little, oh, that's such a pretty purple. Oh, it's making me want to do a look with purple from that one swatch. What do we go here? Let me get some shimmers out for you. Shimmers, this one's really pretty. This one's really pretty. Ooh. Actually very pretty. I might keep that one for now. Okay, Strawberry Shake. Another 9-pan palette here. This one is much more pink leaning than the Main Squeeze palette was. Main Squeeze was more red and this was more pink. Although, having said that, obviously there is a reddy tone in the middle of Strawberry Shake. I'll be honest with you, I barely used Strawberry Shake. I think by the time I got these, I'd started sort of moving on from ColourPop. It was so exciting to me when I discovered ColourPop for the first time. It was something that was really different and I didn't really have in Australia, or I hadn't experienced in Australia. And just the sheer volume that they were releasing stuff was mind-blowing to me. I don't need them, so I'm gonna put that one out. Then we've got Orangey Glad. Again, barely used it. Thank God I got all of these on sale. I do love orange. I do love orange. I don't know why I haven't used it, actually. I think I just got too much makeup too quickly because I sort of threw myself into YouTube. And at that point I was just discovering all these new brands and it was just too exciting and too irresistible. And so I just bought a whole ton of makeup very quickly. And I think finally now I've taken my foot off the pedal a little bit and trying to more enjoy what I have in my collection already. Of course I'm gonna, you know, still buy things here and there, but I've just calmed down a bit, which is good. Money certainly plays a part as well. Don't have an unlimited budget. I like the inclusion of this orangey brown. Oh, that's good. There is a lot of variation considering it's an orange palette. I think they've done a really good job with the color story. Yeah, the only thing I'm not really keen on is the glitter eyeshadow in the middle, but having said that, it's very pretty. It's actually very, very pretty. Orangey Glad. Oh, am I gonna keep that for a while? I'm gonna keep that for a while. I might even do a look with it just for funsies. Should probably check if you can still get it first. I don't know if you want to see looks with palettes that you can't get anymore. I mean, maybe you already have them and you would like to see them pulled out again and try and get some renewed inspiration. I don't know. You can let me know. All right, the final ColourPop one I have in front of me here is ColourPop Garden Variety. It's a super pretty color story, but the tones are very muted. So you're not getting a lot of punch. It does have a Super Shock in here, which is beautiful, called Don't Leaf. If you love pastels, soft, pretty pastels, this is actually a really nice palette. Those are just some soft metallics there. Nice brown. It's got a really grungy green here that's quite cool. That brown's really nice too. Some really nice colors in there. It is really pretty, but I think I'm gonna put it out. As much as I think the colors are really pretty, I never created anything that I was like, oh, wow, yeah, I love this. That's a good reason for it to go out. All right, that means all we have left are a bunch of kind of eclectic palettes in front of me here from various different brands. One of those being Revolution, Makeup Revolution London. Pretty sure I did a video with this one. This is the Forever Flawless Nude Silk Eyeshadow Palette. I've never really gotten into Revolution Beauty, I have to say. It's not, I don't think it's been as big a thing, oh, maybe here as it was overseas in America, but that may be like young people here might be quite into it, but for people, you know, over the age of like 16, it's not really a brand that we kind of purchase. Having said that, and I do remember saying this at the time, I actually think the palette's nice. I think it's a nice palette. There's just a couple of colors that I was a bit disappointed by. Like there's this punchy yellow that looks so punchy here in the palette. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this eyeshadow. But then it sort of didn't translate. See, it's quite sheer. And I thought it was gonna be a lot punchier than that. You can sort of build it a little bit, but yeah, it's not. I was really hoping it was going to be like, there's your yellow, mate, and it wasn't that. So this palette is nice. Do I need it? No, I don't. That one's out. This is great. God, it feels so good to put things out, doesn't it? Give yourself a little spring clean. It was so funny. After we'd been dancing for like 4 hours last night on a concrete floor, both Brie and I were like, I was like, oh my God, are your knees hurting? She's like, yes. So I don't know if it's an age thing or it's just the concrete floors and a lot of dancing. Let's say it's the latter. Next, I have one here from Kaleidos. I haven't heard anything of Kaleidos for ages, and I have not purchased anything from Kaleidos since I purchased a run of these eyeshadow palettes. This one here is the Electric Turquoise eyeshadow palette from the Futurism collection. They had some beautiful palettes in this collection. I loved these eyeshadow palettes. Look how gorgeous that is. Truly gorgeous. I still have a couple of these. I'm going to swatch this one for you because it deserves it. But I feel like Kaleidos have got really boring after this release. Like they just started releasing boring stuff and they all kind of looked the same because they did those espresso palettes or something. And then they did the purpley ones, but they all kind of looked the same. And just, it wasn't, yeah, nothing has made me want to buy anything from them for a while, which sucks because I was obsessed. And these eyeshadow palettes are the best quality. So that's the Electric Turquoise eyeshadow palette. Look at that. The quality is so good. However, I don't wear these colors as beautiful as they are. So, oh, it hurts. It actually hurts to put this one out. It's in the maybe pile. One day I'm going to do I've been promising this for so long, but I'm going to do a video going through all of my eyeshadow palettes, the entire collection. So we'll see if it's still in there when I do that. All right, next up we have got one from Huda Beauty. It is the Wild Chameleon eyeshadow palette. Oh, hang on. My camera's overheating. It's tired like me. I'll just give it 2 secs to recover. Okay, we're back. I'm hoping that the camera has enough juice in it to get us through to the end. We're looking at this Huda Beauty palette, the Wild Chameleon one, and like it's really cool. I was super attracted to it. when I first saw it, sitting on the little shelf there in Sephora. But I don't love the way these eyeshadows perform particularly. They're okay. This color is really nice actually, this berry color. They're okay. They're the mattes in the palette. And then the metallics, I don't find this formula the easiest to blend. I think they can be a bit patchy. And this eyeshadow in the corner looks so spectacular in the pan, but it's just not that spectacular on. You know, it's okay. Doesn't have a lot of punch to it. I think I've been spoiled by indie brands, if I'm being honest. This one's nice. I like this shade a lot. That's really nice. And then this yellowy gold is also nice, but nothing outstanding. I think if this was an indie palette, it would be absolutely spectacular with an indie formula. I think it would be gorgeous. Oh, I love that purple shade too. I remember the last time I used this, and like a couple of times prior to that, but really the last time I used it, it was just a struggle to blend, but that's a really pretty purple. Oh, it's so hard. Do I want to risk it again? No, I don't need it. That can go out. While I was waiting for the camera to calm down, I just watched a video on Instagram that made me nearly bawl my eyes out. It was a beautiful little video of a young boy with a really difficult syndrome he's living with, and he got his bucket list item to meet Nick Kyrgios, who's an Australian tennis player. So anyway, this is a Wet n Wild palette. It's the Color Icon. I actually think I bought this in Croatia, of all places. I know, right? So random. It's got some really pretty colors in here. The mattes actually look really good, but I believe that the reason that I didn't continue to use this eyeshadow palette, because it actually looks really nice, is that even though the eyeshadows look pretty to start with, there's the metallics there, they do look really nice. They all ended up kind of going a little bit pink on me. Like after a while, they kind of changed their color. I don't know if you know, but like, you know, sometimes with a cheaper lipstick, or it's, you know, not necessarily cheap ones, but just poorly made lipsticks, they go on with a nice color, you know, the color that they are supposed to be, and then they just end up being bright pink by the time you wipe them off, even if that was not at all the color you started with. It's kind of like that. So I'm gonna put that out. It was fun while I had it. Oh, sorry, just beating you up there with the camera. Fun while I had it, but it's time to go. This one is a little mini one. It's the Color Icon Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette in, just says new. That's super helpful. This was good while I was traveling, did the trick. But again, I don't feel like the colors really hold true. There's nothing to write home about. It's okay, it's not bad. A couple of the eyeshadows in there. That's so frosty, I would never wear that color. That's going out. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking I'd left all my eyeshadows behind and I needed to get some quickly and cheaply. I think that's what was going on. I've only got 3 palettes left. One of those is one I put together myself. This is a Makeup Geek empty palette here, and in it I've got, now these eyeshadows have so much history in them for me because these are Stila eyeshadows that I've taken out of, they came in like a little cardboard thing. There was, these two came in the same packet, and when I was in high school I went and lived in America on a scholarship in San Diego, and that was my first experience with Sephora, and I was head over heels in love with it at that point. And so, oh my gosh, buying Stila makeup, it was something I'd never seen before. We didn't have Stila here, so it just so strongly brings back those memories of being a young girl and falling in love with makeup, and it's just never stopped since then. I also bought these purpley shades because I grew up in, you know, the 90s noughties. Silver was so popular in eyeshadows back then. I used to always wear silver eyeshadow, and now I never wear silver eyeshadow. Isn't it funny? And this is, I think this is a Makeup Geek blush that I have in here. Yeah, this was a Makeup Geek blush. That's really nice. She had some beautiful products. That's a really pretty blush. So yeah, those are quite nostalgic for me. Self-made palette there. 2 to go. This one is Too Faced. It is one of their Christmas palettes. I did a video on this. It is the Christmas Coffee eyeshadow palette. Too Faced was another brand that I was pretty excited about when I first went to America. This smells like sweets. This has the most beautiful green eyeshadow in here. This one, the metallics are really nice actually. This is the only Too Faced palette I've bought in probably the last 15 years. It's got a nice selection of mattes as well, from light to dark. So it's a well curated little palette. So that's the Christmas eyeshadow palette. That's very pretty. I probably don't need it though. It's such cute packaging. Look at that. Oh, it's so cute. By the way, this does not taste like coffee. Not at all. It smells like sweet something, but not coffee. Although I think in America you guys have coffee like real sweet. But yeah, it's not what it smells like. That one, I guess I'm gonna put it out, but I'm sad about it because it's so cute. I just love the packaging. I wonder if I could take the eyeshadow out and use it as just a tin. Put some bobby pins in there. Yeah, maybe. And finally, we've got a Charlotte Tilbury one here. This is the luxury palette, the Rebel. I went through a real Charlotte Tilbury craze as well. I bought a stack of her eyeshadow palettes all at once. It nearly bankrupted me. This one, the Rebel, I didn't know this because I was new to Charlotte Tilbury, but it was like a rebranding because they already had this palette with these exact same shades, but I think it was called something else. So these are nice sort of army green shadows, but there are two of them that are very similar. Oh, still got the other one on my hand. Today is a struggle. I'm gonna take Billy out for a stroll after this. I think we might actually go. I can't say it out loud. The B-A, that's not how you spell it. B-E-A-C-H. Because he loves it there, and some sea air would do me some good. I'm very lucky that I live 10-minute drive away from that sandy place with the water. I can't say it because he's lying here and he's very smart. So this is the Rebel eyeshadow palette, which is quite nice. I never wear it though. I feel like these two eyeshadows could have been different. Also, these are all metallics. Like there's no mattes in this eyeshadow palette, which isn't the end of the world. I prefer shimmers, metallics generally, but one matte would have been nice. I might keep it for now, but don't know why. I don't wear it. And that is all of the eyeshadow palettes that I had that I wanted to go through today. I think, let me just double check the box. Oh, isn't this so cute? Oh, I love this. I love it. I promise I'm not trying to show you my boob right now. I'm still wearing my pajama shorts, by the way. But what you can't see won't hurt you. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today for this chill decluttering of palettes. I actually got rid of a bunch of them, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now it's time for me to, I guess, get out of my pajama shorts and go get some fresh air and face the world. I wasn't even drinking. I was driving last night. I had 2 drinks. It was just, yeah, just a late big night. And also with my endo and stuff, I have a lot of fatigue, so that'll do me for the next month. All right, whatever you are up to today, I hope you have a fabulous day, or maybe it's nighttime where you are, so enjoy that too. I'll be back with you very soon. Please subscribe, thumbs up, comment before you leave. I love all of that, and I'll see you soon. I'm definitely gonna hold up some palettes for my thumbnail too. All right, bye.